All right, morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. It's the freaking weekend, baby. Clap it up, clap it up. I hope I didn't burst anybody's eardrum. There's one person here. Who's that? Kella C1. Kella, how are you doing? I hope all is well. Kella says, blessings, SouFLo, and the morning thoughts family. Up, 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 like a phoenix. We rise. Up, 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 SouFLo, morning thoughts family. It's the freaking weekend, baby. All right, so I'm running like 2 minutes late. Nothing big, nothing big. We're here. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. Extra special, big up, shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to the entrepreneurs, the stay-at-home moms and pops, the retirees, the Uber driver, Lyft driver, truck driver, around town food delivery drivers, over the road long distance truck drivers. Shout out to TriStars Trucking Vlogs on YouTube. Try, big up yourself, and please go over there and support that brother's channel and help his channel to grow. Shout out to every single clean-hearted, good-hearted person who wants good for others as much as you want good for yourself. You are worthy of respect. Shout out to you. Here we are this morning. Beautiful Friday morning, up and at it, and a lot to be thankful for, right? Let me shout out my first people that are in here this morning so we can get on with the show. Gonna be quite festive this morning. I have 2 video clips, 2 different subjects, and both subjects will require our attention and our feedback. It's gonna get serious in here this morning. All right. Before I start though, let me again say shout out to who's that? Kella C1. Thank you for being here. Queenie Morris, Stacey Ann Williams, Victorious Woman, Tamia Campbell, Darlene Walter Riley, Queenie Morris, thank you for being here. Virtuous Woman, thank you for being here. Sexy Body, never seen that name in here before. Thank you for being here. Sharon R, Sandy B, Danya Quet. All right, I'm done with the name then. Danya Quesada. Danya Quesada, I got it right. Thank you for being here. You know me, I get old, you know, and my vision I go, so me I pick up close to the computer screen to see when me they read. I don't really wear glasses, people. When my eye them look too tired, we put on the glasses and take the glare out from these lights that are around. All right, we'll talk about the things this morning. If Stockholm Syndrome was a person, that person would be this person. There's this video. I put this video together and there's, whoa, this man mom look like my mom, boy. All right, I put this video together just to have this conversation this morning. So let me lead you into this video real quick. When you're ready? All right. There's a story that happened a couple of weeks ago. I did not cover the story because me just never covered the story. I saw the story and I thought this girl need help. But things have changed. So I'm trying to figure out how you go from, have y'all seen it? How you go from a man who used to say him love you, lay wait you out a road, jump out of bushes on you, cut you up, stab you up, cut out your belly. You're on news telling people that, yes, I was running with my intestines hanging out my stomach. That means I never joke him joke or no, hey girl, come back home or nothing like that. I have to make text serious thing, make joke because, boy, let me say this before I even start though. Before I get into this video, I don't want anybody to bash this sister as in giving as in calling her names. We all didn't get smart at the same time, or we all don't get smart at the same time. We all don't mature at the same time. These kind of things. I just think that she hasn't reached that level yet, and she's pretty young. She's 23 years old, okay? You remember what it was like being 23 for those of you who are way past 23? Yeah. So what I would like my audience to do though is to maybe share your own story based on your own experience. So hopefully if the sister read these comments, she's going to be able to say, damn, so other people go through this. Okay, they did get away. All right. So there is a way out. All right, maybe this is what I have to do. That kind of stuff is what I want you to do. Constructive criticism is okay. But bashing and debasing, don't do it. She's already being victimized and she look like she don't even know So she's being victimized. So I'm going to play this video and you're going to watch so you get a full understanding of what's going on. And then we are going to talk about this one first. All right, here goes the video. Turn up the volume on the thing.
It's my life and I choose what I want in my life. And Father God knows when want for me, I'm a partner.
That's from the Gleaner. Okay, so this is when she was laying in bed after she got cut up, right? She was almost disemboweled.
I'm afraid. Go up on the road, man, so I'm afraid. I'm so afraid. Attack me. You were forced to say all those things. Yes. Saying that you were a slave and you're afraid and you just want to get away. That was all a force. I don't want to be a time waster. It's time for now to focus on my education. And it's time for now for my partner to be out and to help me towards my education and also towards my child. And that's it. I don't want to waste the court time and I don't want this case to go further. I don't want to waste the court time and I don't want this case to go further. Yeah. It's my case. Because I don't want it to. What do you think he feels about this? He feels happy. Because I don't want the case to go any further. I don't want to waste the court time. And also I don't want to be a time waster in Jamaica. Because there are a lot of time wasters in Jamaica right now.
He inflicted some stab wounds on him.
Everybody make mistake.
He inflicted some stab wounds on you. She said, everybody make mistake. All right, I don't know if you got to hear that really well, but what that is a young lady who now has come out because, you know, after she gets stabbed up. All right, so she run away. She run away, running away from this man and him find her. Anyway, she run away and him find her, stab her up, cut her up, jump out the bushes on her one day. I remember watching the video about 6-7 weeks ago or so where she was talking about how she was disemboweled almost. Her stomach was open and her intestines were coming out and she run down the road like that to try holding our intestines. So when the news reporter is asking her now if but he inflicted some stab wounds on you, and she said everybody make mistakes. She said everybody make mistakes. My girl, that's no mistake, but go before it gets worse. It gets worse. The guy is incarcerated, right, at the moment, because the law took over and did what they were supposed to do. You cut up a woman, you can't do that. You can't cut up anybody, period. It's against the law. So he is locked up. What she is doing now is coming public to say she doesn't want the case to go any further. She has nothing more to say to law enforcement. Everything that she said before was a lie, wasn't how it went. People tell her to say that. This is her taking back, recanting, taking back everything, right? And I don't want the case to go any further. I don't want to waste the court time. I don't want to waste my own time. And I don't want to be a time waster in Jamaica because there are a lot of time wasters in Jamaica, is her exact quote unquote words. Now, the article, what I read after that interview, the time wasters she was referring to were people like me and you and others who are concerned for her. We're giving our opinion and we're hoping she heeds some of this advice. And she called with time waster. Come out of my business, and my business. Me and Father God alone know my business, and me and Father God alone know what me I do. Me and Father God alone know where, like, if she say, me and Father God know so what I'm doing is right or something. You know, when people are doing the most heinous things or when they're doing the most ridiculous things, you notice how a lot of the times they draw for God. God told me to do this. I had a vision. God said that. The sister is 23. And I want you to put yourself in that place. Somebody stab you up multiple times, stab you up, right? Cut your belly. It gets worse. Listen, cut your belly. Your inside I drop out enough, and you are run with it, right? You find forgiveness for this person. Now she says she wants him to come out to come help her with her education, going back to school, and taking care of the baby that's on the way. And the baby that's on the way is supposedly his. So I'm trying to figure out, like, a 7 weeks ago. The article says that the original incident happened because she spent time in the hospital recovering and all that. The baby is on the way. So a baby is developing in the same belly that he actually almost cut out of her. And that, so when time them get time to put baby in that the belly there. And then look at the conditions that this baby is going to come into the world in. Y'all see the big 360 picture? When you see some of them mad youth out the road today, you see? And they just kill without care. Y'all see this big 360 picture? Oh, your daddy cut out your mother belly with you in there. Lucky she lucky, he never killed the baby. Them stitch up back the belly and she still have you, so you're a miracle baby. But poor sister girl is saying that that's her man. She wants to be with him. They want to be together. The news reporter asked her, so how does he feel about this? She said, I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy because I come out. I'm happy because you're going to help to let him out. Now, remember the politician George Wright? If you remember his case, right? Beat the woman with the stool, and then we found out that that was his common law wife. All that was required for that to go nowhere was for him to say, I don't have anything to say. I'm not making no formal report. She didn't do me nothing. It's done. And she just said, I have nothing to say. I'm not pressing any charges. I'm not filing any formal report, and it's done. This is where I come in and I say stuff like, you see, sometimes we travel, right? And we see different models of things that are put in place in different people's societies that works, and it works well. I don't say where I said the place them better than where we come from. It's that they have some things in place that I think could work over here as well to make things better and make certain people safer. For instance, we talked about this before. If that was here in the US, she wouldn't have a choice. Like, she couldn't say anything to media or courts that would sway that case. He would still be prosecuted by the state for wounding with intent, for attempted murder, for use of a deadly weapon during an attempted murder or wounding with intent. For them would have list out a long list of things against him, and he would still have to answer to the state and those charges. Apparently, in Jamaica, if it's a domestic issue, then two people can say, I don't have nothing to say. I don't have nothing to say to the court. I withdraw my statement, original statement. I was lying. I did a talk foolishness. And then the other person on the other end, the abuser, gets to walk. The question is, what sort of upbringing did she have? Listen, who's that? Nick? Oh, Koik are saying. That's a good question. And that's all in a part of it. What kind of upbringing she had. That's all in a part of it. But looking at her, though, I'm thinking she might be under threat. And this is exactly why they implemented those rules, or they changed the laws to fit that. The victim cannot change their mind. No man can stab you up, cut out your belly, and you come back later and talk about, I don't want to press any charges. That is why they did that, because in the US where I live, at a certain point, it was exactly like it is now in Jamaica. They he could have cut up your belly, cut you up, stab you up, lick you down, whatever. And as long as you didn't die, you could come back and say, hey, all the stuff I said before, it was fake. It wasn't about my husband. My husband loves me dearly. I don't know. I was a little confused. And before you know it, charges dropped. Abuser is back with the abused. And it happens again until abuser kills abused. You know, me I look on her. And I watch her talk. And I said to myself, say, if this girl get back with that guy, somewhere down the line, I hate to predict these things because usually when I predict them, they do happen, right? Somewhere down the line, we're going to read of her demise at his hands. Remember the girl that did the story in 2021? about how the guy did cut out. Yeah, her right here. Remember her? Yep, that's her right there on the front page. She dead enough. CMU killer. If she can't see that coming, if she cannot see that coming, then she is doomed. For some reason, I think she is being threatened behind the scenes, and cause you know, go already, you know. You have some people, let's be real now, we have some people in the community who wouldn't mash her hands. They're just not into violence. It's not like they can't get violent. It's not a part of them. Then you have some people in certain communities where, you know, 5-star ratchet man will push this in a year and a boy, and hey boy, so you know, say, them people are set a certain way. This person that she is with seems to be one of those people that are set that certain kind of way, right? He probably has friends in the community who are threatening her. Hey, girl, I better drop the charges, you know. You hear that? Better drop the charges, make my charger come out. You think I'll stab up next time? Next time a gunshot, you hear that, girl? She don't have nobody to back her. She's fearful. And she's like, Lord, them are going to kill me if me not get him out. Me not have nowhere to run, go. She must have been threatened. She must have been threatened. I've seen women get beat down, you know, and go back with the same guy. And they go back and go back until they couldn't take it anymore, and then they run. Whether they disappear in the middle of the night or when he was at work, she pack up the kids and pack up our things and leave and gone to a whole different country, a whole different side of the country or another state or whatever. I've seen these happen, but me never see stab up, cut up, and go back to. That's not a mistake, my girl. That's not a mistake. Mistake is when you don't to understand what you're about to do. But you think it's okay, you do it, and then you realize it was a mistake. You regret it, now I'm going to do it again. That's not a mistake. And I'm willing to bet she was beaten horrendously before, because like I've told y'all before, no man don't, ladies, listen, no man don't go from, I don't care if I have to say it to you a million times, no man goes from loving you, treating you right, to just knife in your belly, stab up all over your body, out a road. No man goes from one to the next extreme just like that. In between, all the red flags are there. Remember we talked about this, right? It went from talking to you in a derogatory manner, calling you out your name, then start grab you and box you, and then box and kick turn to, oh, I'm so sorry, I won't do it again. Babe, you know me, I say, I don't know, me just be mad and upset and these things, and sometimes you make me do them things that you know, man, because you know, that kind of talk, and then she start feel guilty now, and what did I do? Okay, me not do that again, I guess, cause that make him did beat me. All right, me, I go change my ways. Now you have the victim starting to victimize their own self. Okay, so me need to change my ways so I can't act better than that. And then it happens again and again and again, right? And then it graduates from, cause him get tired. Him get tired of the licking and it not doing nothing what he wants it to do. You're not under his control like he wants. There's still some rebellion in you. So we are go from the lick to chop up and stab up. And then when they finally realize that I'll never be able to control this girl, a murder. Murder. Now, keeping in line with this whole discussion, I wanted to bring something to your attention now that we have enough people here. I was waiting for at least 200 people to come in. Now that we have enough people here. So between January 2020 and March 2021, listen to this. There's been 3,265 cases of sexual abuse on the island. And of that, 249 girls impregnated by rape, carnal abuse, or other sex crimes. Coerced, forced. That was released a couple of days ago, about 2-3 days ago in the Gleaner, front page news. Between January of 2020 and March of 2021, 3,265. These are reported cases. So let's not think about the case, or let's not forget the cases that were not reported. 3,265 cases of sexual abuse reported, and 249 of those, the girls are pregnant. And they're pregnant by rape, carnal abuse, and other sex crimes. These are underage girls, by the way, right? Coerced and forced. So these are the numbers we're working with. Let's not even put in the equation that, you know, the murder rate up like crazy. I think we're almost at 600 now, or probably already past 600. So the murder rate up like crazy. And then abuse of the women and girls. This has been going on for a long time, right? This is up like crazy. Of course, you know, you have the pandemic going on, people on lockdown and all these things. And we've talked about this before, how these children who were being victimized were able to escape at least for a couple of hours. Or predators usually would back off a little bit because them say, all right, well, they pick me up to go to school, so if I do this, it might show. Some teacher who is paying attention to this child might recognize something wrong, bring heat on the house, we don't want that. When they realize that, hey, you're on lockdown, ain't no teacher seeing these kids. None of the people in the school system that really care about these kids are seeing them, right? You know, the lunch lady, who always talk to you, and she might even know mommy, and these things, and all the miss what's your name that was selling down at the school gate, the cafeteria woman, to the janitor of the school, to the principal and your teachers. All these people look at the children and assess, and sometimes say, yo, something wrong with SouFLo, and you see it. But now they're out the picture. These children have been staying at home for a long time, and look at these numbers. Predators went on the attack. Predators went on the attack. It's crazy. It's crazy. Somebody said about how she was raised. I'm willing to bet she was probably raised in an abusive manner as well. And again, we talked about this already. You know, when you're raised in a way where those who love you also inflict pain upon you, abuse, you start to equate one with the other. So you start telling yourself, say, love come with pain, yeah, man. You know, it's not that kind of normal thing. Love come with pain. Love must hurt. Some go as far as to say, well, if him not hurt me, him don't like me, or him don't really want me. If him not fight over me or try to kill me, if him think me a gateway or something, then him not really love me. If you're not gonna fight for me when I'm walking out the door, then toxic and dysfunctional, and that's how I go. And that's the reality. I feel sorry for her. Like I said, I don't want nobody call her out her name and all these things. I see somebody say fool. Well, yeah, she in the fool stage of life. It looked like she's in the fool stage of life. And at some point, I hope she realizes this before it gets too late. Most women can report rape in some form. Lauren Newman, clarify that for me. Seed of Benjamin says, I'm listening for a while now, and I notice that the women and children are very vulnerable in Jamaica. It's crazy too many killings. Yes, the women and children are very vulnerable. The women and children are actually, those are the primary victims on the island. Let's put it that way. Those are the primary, women and children are the primary victims on the island. Easily victimized, and really nothing comes out of it a lot of the time. Don't you see the example that the system has set? I remember I say a brother, killing a woman upstairs, beat her with a hammer, right? Kill her upstairs in the house, wrap her up in her tarpaulin. Y'all don't remember this? I covered that story. Wrap her up in her tarpaulin, and they live topside a drain. So he has to cross a street to get to the drain. Brother rolled the girl downstairs, or rolling her in the tarpaulin across the street. People saw him and start ball out him name. And he left it there and took off running, right? He showed up, what, about a week later in the company of an attorney. He ended up getting barely any time at all. So what does this say to the women? What does this say to the girls? It says, in we kill you, you know? And we kill it for real and then won't give him nothing. Little bit of time that and he'll be back out the road again. What the use of me telling for? What's the use of me telling? Because it seems like the system backs them. That has to strike some kind of apprehensive feeling in the minds of the abused females, women, girls, or even little boys and boys that are being abused too. We keep leaving them out of the picture as if it's not happening to them, and it is. Right now, there's some little boy sitting there saying, geez, SouFLo, do that something again, and him not even mention we are like me. So here we are with this one. Now, this statement I'm about to make does not apply to girls, underage girls or children that have been or are being abused. This applies to women, right? And I wrote this down on my board. I remember a time gone by when women were more respected. I remember a time gone by when women were more respected within our society, right? But I also take note that in that time gone by where they were more respected, they respected themselves more in that time gone by. So it's something that go hand in hand. It's another thing that everybody is afraid to talk about because, you know, the sisters, once you say something out of line, it's like, yeah, well, that's y'all to say, yeah, they give you that kind of attitude, and it's like, you can't tell me nothing. Say it again. I remember a time gone by when women were way more respected within our society. But I also remember that within that time that I'm speaking of, those women in that time, they respected themselves more. So maybe it has something to do with how they respected themselves more, that they garnered that kind of a respect. They commanded that kind of a respect, and that's why they got it. Remember I told you, remember when we talk about how we kept on accepting, and I used skirt as an analogy. I used the skirt to say, hey, remember when skirt did long, ankle length skirt? And then somebody said, no, we're not ankle length skirt. It's too hot out there. Plus, that they and grandma them days. Mommy them and them are church people, 7-day Adventists and them something. Me and none of them something. Me want my skirt a little shorter, so the skirt went from the ankle to the calves, right? And the whole original intent of the skirt was to cover up everything and leave nothing for lust. Because once man see little skin, him start say, yo, I like them pretty and browny, those on a skirt, right? That was the original intent. Now, it went from the calf, go to the knee. Then somebody said, Chuck, I don't want my knee them cover, a little bit above the knee. Then we went from that to above the knee. Then the skirt turned in a mini skirt. So to when them walk, when some of them walking down the street, I'm have to every 2 steps, I have to pull it back down, one body cheek jump out over here, so she's walk 2 times, next body cheek jump out over there, so she's, oh my God, and oh, and like a breeze blowing her skirt lift up and yesterday, whole her tuntun out the door, and these kind of things. We went to that. We accepted the skirt, that is a perfect example of society on a whole, all the ills that we have slowly accepted till they became norm. Now it's perfectly normal for girls to go outside in a sheer top that you can see through like now we're nothing with 2 something pan her nipple them yaso. Cause that's all she had try cover up, the 2 nipple. She not care about the rest of the breasts. She only care about the 2 nipples, so she cover the 2 nipples. Some of them even come out with the 2 nipples out. Right? Some don't even wear panty, them just have one little something with them pierce on the vagina, and that's it. And that's where we've gone from long skirt to mid-range skirt to short skirt to mini skirt to out the door naked. And she turn up out the door naked and now can't say nothing. We've accepted it all the way up. Little by little by little. You know, we have the saying in Jamaica, give us an inch, them take a mile. See that? That is us. We get an inch and we took a mile. Somebody say, okay, all right, loosen up with the skirting a little bit. Make them, call them younger, you know, and enough with time that. So make them go and wear the skirt a little bit shorter. Cut it go up on them calf. Then somebody else said, all right, then they can go on the knee. And then it went from the knee to the crotches. Went from miniskirt to body parts all over the place. So I do remember a time in our society when all these things go hand in hand. I've been saying this on my platform for a while now. I said, women, you are way more powerful than you give yourself credit for. A lot of you are way more powerful than you know. Some of you have come to the realization of what powers you hold, and you're living that kind of a life, right? And you're exuding that kind of an energy. Some of you have, but some of us still don't know what kind of powers you hold. It is you that shape society. You, woman. Anything you see man do, because woman impressed by it. Anything you see man do, he's driven. He's driven. All when him a bottom man because he's looking for mother's approval. He's driven. So it's the woman that leads the way. And when she starts accepting foolishness and effery, everybody goes to foolishness and effery because that's a go on. Right? Again, not blaming the victims, because some people short-sighted and they see it, oh, here goes SouFlo again, blaming the victims. Not blaming the victims. Showing my sisters that time gone by, your kind, your species were way more respected, held to a much higher standard, and they performed at that much higher standard, so they commanded the respect they were given. However, I do remember that in that time gone by, those women, that respect, that was earned. They respected themselves more back then. True thing. I'm the vice chair. True thing. True thing. Some of you were raised that way, or some of you were raised that way, and then you went out into the world and said you wanted freedom and you lost your way. And you went really, really free, right? you went all out, and then you returned to those ways. Some went all out even though they were raised right, and then them just never came back. Or they haven't come back yet. I mean, life is a journey, you know. Some return to common sense and decency and sensible thinking earlier than others. And some just never return. Lost of value and morals. Yes, sir. And call it freedom. It's like me watching, I was watching, I believe it's called Soft White Underbelly. I'm watching that, and I'm watching the female prostitutes, and they talk. And when them talk about how they get their money, right? I watch a woman who is convinced that she is tricking a John. Because, you know, they all slimes, right? And the goal is to get to the money, right? Yeah, well, his goal is to get to your pum pum for your price and him have the money for pay it and him pay it. He got what he wanted. So how you think you tricking him? But it's to watch the dynamics, the psychological dynamics of how even a pimp can get a beautiful young lady to really believe that she is tricking these men out of their money. That's why they're called tricks, because you're tricking him out of your money. You weren't tricking him out of anything. He came there with the intention to buy crutches, and you're selling, so he's buying. There was no trick to it. You're the pawn in the middle. But if you look at her and listen to her speak, she's not no pawn in the middle. The guy that come by is the pawn in the middle in her mind. And a master of psychology, which is a pimp, has her thinking she's on the winning end of this deal. She's selling her body. She's giving all the money to this guy who is the pimp. The John, the trick, gets what he wants every time. Obviously, my girl that leaves you with nothing, but she don't see it. She'll sit up there and do this interview, talk about how I make this much money a night and all that stuff, and then the camera goes down and you see her foot on her shoes, and you're like, Jesus Christ, if you make that much money a night, what go on for the shoes? You could have put on like a better shoes. She's controlled down to what she wears. Pimp goes, I'm gonna take you shopping. He's taking you shopping. Daddy is good to me. He takes me shopping. He does all that. He takes you shopping with the money that you use. You spent you all night. You use your body to earn that money, and then you're required to give this man every penny. And then he takes you to the mall and buy you a few things out of your own money and keep the rest for himself. And that's a person that's good to you in your mind. So you see, this whole, it's a psychological thing. I hope this sister really gets out of this and lick a KFC. Tamika Keaton, and lick a KFC. And she up here, I'm eating good. My man take me shopping. That's to show you how that work. Right? That's to show you how that works. Yeah, we have to text you or thing, make joke and laugh about it sometime. But poor thing, watching this sister, I hope she see this. I hope she sees this and I hope she calls me. I hope she sees this and I hope she calls me. Because I would want to talk some sense into her, or try to at least. I know right now that her man is probably watching this or is going to. You see all them idiot boy that like them boy that like SouFlo and them boy that, because that's how they're gonna style me, because me I try to save the girl from you before you kill her. All when she not even want to save herself. She'll realize later, and some people realize too late. You know what I'm saying? She will realize later, and some people they realize it too late. Age of consent was 21. And what, that was back in the day? Age of consent was 21. In those days, the family dynamics was made up of two parents, and you have to be married before you have children. If you get a girl pregnant, you have to marry her, and that's how it used to be. Can't say that's a lie. That's very much true. That's why it was a big shame. When the generation started pulling away from the elders' teaching, I think that is where my generation came in, because I remember seeing the girls started to get pregnant in uniform or at teenage level. And I remember the drama that came with it. In our mind, it's like one of the worst things that could have ever happened. Like the whole neighborhood is going to wake up if it happened. Shanika breed, everybody holds turnover around there. Not anymore. We stopped making noise about that. We accepted it like the skirt. And we slowly accepted more. Okay, so I just one of them. All right, well, she and our whole crew. Rotted. Well, I just four of them. Well, all right, well, I half of the school now. Jesus, peace. The whole school broke out. And then we went to the internet and videos. And can I tell you about the videos that are online for Jamaican schoolers? If you watch any of them videos, you would never look at those children in uniform the same again. When I watched the video of them, they came across and I saw them. I actually had them sent to me. So I went to go look if it is true, because I was talking naively and somebody said, SouFlo, you look like you don't really know what going on. Listen, them have one whole section of porn that is dedicated to just that. Caribbean schoolgirl, them in them school uniform or something. Go watch some of them there. And then come talk to me, because you seem to think that them little youth and now do not much and don't know much, and they need to be caressed and guided. It's too late for enough of them. Them should have start from way down a basic school. Too late now. Broke out and gone. So I doing the show. I don't want to take anybody word for just word. That's kind of, so I go, look, me granny, me come off quick and get everything off of my thing, because I don't want nobody come knock my door about, yes, you're viewing child pornography, but it is true, it exists. A whole heap of it. A whole heap of it. Girl come from school for walk home now and cut up. Right on the banana tree down there and gone and walk the rest of our way home. And the funny thing now is our friend them there with camera. So, phone. So, and it goes to the neck. Different times. Different times. These young youths growing up seeing that and taking these kinds of advantage, right? Because youth are youth, you know, you're going through your changes, your physiological changes. You're going through your changes. Testosterone, I kick up on these things, and you know, the young girl them a fling out all in a school uniform. If she don't have no sense and control and you don't have none, then here we go. And now these boys, their minds are tainted from early, because they're like, what kind of respect y'all gonna grow up and have for women when you can draw them behind any dumpster, any tree in a bush or anywhere, and you know, so more than likely shall run something. What kind of respect you're gonna grow up having for them? So by the time they reach like out of high school, these are full season predators or full season men who disrespect women on a regular basis. That is why I said back then women had more respect and were treated more protected and more respected, but it is because they respected themselves more back then. Not true? Darlene says, talk of the day. Bro, Shaka, that's why enough of the foreigners them come to Jamaica for the low age of consent. Brother, I've been saying that for the longest. You know what they told me? Them tell me some media that try kill Jamaica tourism. Now, if that is what drives Jamaica's tourism, doesn't it deserve to be killed? Talk now. I don't think that is what drives Jamaica's tourism. I really think that people come there for the vibes, the good food, you know, how the place that. A lot of them do come there for the SEX though. And them come for the underage SEX. Because predators who like them really young, they come because they know, well, age of consent already set low. There's a documentary out, and the documentary was shot with undercover. A lot of you sure have seen this. The documentary was shot with undercover people, cameras and everything. And this is our uncle who a mother, this is her brother. So you have a mother, her brother. So this is the girl's uncle. His sister child, he's taking and selling to tourists. Now, I remember when the man gets in the room with the girl, the man said, I'm going to give you the money, but I don't want no sex from you. I want a conversation from you. How old are you? She says, 16. The man said, I don't believe you. You're not telling me the truth. She said, 14. This is Jamaica. It's a tourist room she end up in. Is our uncle bring her go there. So she's telling the tourist man that her and her uncle been doing this for a minute. And she do the transaction and him collect the money and him give her a piece. So he finds the client. See? This is his sister's child. And here the man tell the tourist man, she said, yeah man, him say, yeah man, we can get her anytime. Because the tourist man asked him if you can get her back again. So say I come back and I want the same girl, you can get her back again? And the tourist and the man said, the Jamaican man said, yeah man, we can get her anytime. I'm a sister picnic. Yes, they use them to rob them too, to set them up and rob them. Them use them for all kind of stuff. But that's them being left out there at the mercy of the world. You're rough out there now, for some. You're rough out there for some. That's why yesterday I said, boy, for those of you who went through roughness in your childhood, I really am now empathetic more than ever as I get older and recall my childhood. My childhood was splendid. And to imagine that you were going through hell on earth while I was going through what is heaven on earth is really two dynamics set up right there. Be careful who you entrust with your children. Thank you, Kayla. I've been saying that for the longest too. Not trust nobody. So this sister now that we originally started talking about, how she want the man out. She's dropping all charges. She don't want to waste the court's time. She need help. She need help. I don't know if somebody close by, just like how yesterday, how they've even the court made it mandatory for her to go to counseling, okay, and to get help. And it's still not work. So I can't even say, just like how yesterday, how the Child Protective Services was put out that they're looking for the little youth who said him want to be gunman, is the same way these services for adults, like battered women and all these other stuff, need to go find her. She probably needs some help moving from where she's at. She probably feel like she has nowhere to go. She's 23. She don't have no job. She don't have no money saved up. She don't have no education. Look like she don't have no family around her or something. So go find her. Find her and see if she really needs some help. She probably needs some help getting away. Imagine the fear that is in you. It's one thing for somebody to tell you, right? Hey, yeah, me kill you, you know. Me kill you. You hear me? And you're like, Cho, you always a talk. A long time I said them something there. And one day I actually did it. You just, by the mercy of God, you just survived. But he actually did it. You know the kind of fear that is in you after that? You're staring into somebody that when they say they'll kill you, you know for a fact that they'll kill you. Cut out the girl belly. Footlight said that sounds ideal, but some of these girls are so accustomed to that lifestyle that they are unwilling to accept help. Yeah, and that's why I said at the title of this video, Stockholm Syndrome is real. Stockholm Syndrome is where, as most of y'all already know, but you can imagine it more now, seeing this case. This is a perfect example of Stockholm Syndrome, where the abused starts to even fall in love with the abuser, like even more, and romanticize their time with them, regardless of what they do to them. When the reporter said to her, yeah, but he put a couple of stabs on you, you know, stab you up quite a bit, she said, everybody make mistakes. Everybody make mistakes. No, don't make no mistake like that with my life. Baby girl don't love herself. She don't love herself. If she love herself, she wouldn't allow that to happen to herself. But you see, self-love, for a lot of us, self-love is learned over time because we're stuck in a cycle of abuse. So we keep accepting abuse for the longest. Hopefully, as she grows and she matures, if she is given a chance to do so, she's able to one day say to herself, say, I love me too much for this. You know what? I love me so much, I gotta stay by myself. I not even want no man, I don't want no relationship. I'm just gonna stay by myself and figure me out. But she don't love herself. She's probably loving herself, low self-esteem, very low self-esteem. Queenie Mars says low self-esteem. But she was raised with low self-esteem. Or maybe she never get raised. Maybe she get dragged up. There's a difference, you know. Some people get raised and some people get dragged up. But God is black, so remember, and everybody here are know God are in voice. She lost in the wilderness, Cindy. She is lost in the wilderness. I really hope, though, that just like how yesterday they plastered front page news, them I look for the little boy. I hope it's the same way some woman advocate group is looking for her. Just reach out to her on one-on-one. Forget counseling mandated by court because she probably feel like that's a setup too. In this one, you're going to have to go in the back door. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have to design a way to approach her. They can't be too aggressive and be like, listen, I'm going to kill you now. You need to come. They're going to have to find a different approach for her. Help is there. However, many people are scared to get it. Game or Pass. Game or Pass said, help is there, however, many people are scared to get it. When a man tells a woman, say, him will kill her, and then he actually goes through with it, you see PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, just like how veterans who go to combat and come home and have that, or anybody who has experienced a traumatic event has that, the flashbacks, the cold sweat, the wake up at night, can't sleep, all that. She's gonna have the same things. She'll have the same things, right? So when you say help is there, they don't believe help is there. They believe more than that is how strong that fear is. They believe more than anything that no matter where them move me go, me feel like him will find me. And if him find me, he'll find me and kill me. Cause me leave him. That's why a lot of them don't leave. But that's when you stay there for so long. You know, they stay there for so long till that thing is buried in their mind, consume their whole mind. They can't see a way out. Laura Newman says, I have that, PTSD. You know? Queen Morris says they will need to use her unborn child to help her. That's the route to take. How? How do they use the unborn child to help? That part right there, kind of, that part, when they got to that part, they said, no, that's not rotten. So the belly where the man cut out is the same belly where she said, no, baby in it, and it's his. You all see this level of dysfunction here? And I'm really trying to figure out if she was pregnant when him cut her up. I mean, 7 weeks is a long time, but she wouldn't have known already, right? Me no care baby, so me no know. I needed the women's help in here on that one. Davia Davidson says, while some children had to raise themselves, yes. Accounts Clark, I am absolutely sure that this brother is going to kill her. If she stay with him, I am absolutely sure he's going to kill her. People rarely change from that. This is not no, oh, I'm barking at her and I need to learn to speak to her better. This is not no, oh, me slip up every now and then and call her out her name or we trace each other. This isn't that. This is really attempted murder. Documented. So I think about kill her, yes? So here what? I think we beat this one enough for today. So I want to talk about something else that might be more jovial, but probably isn't. So yeah, my youth, I don't know if y'all know about, let me just cut over into this real quick. Apparently there's no positive role models in this case. Someone says that's Kim Wood, and Carrie Ann Jones says if she knows her cycle, then she can know from early that she is pregnant. All right, thank you for that feedback. Me not have cycle, so me wouldn't know. That's why I needed your help with that. Okay. They must change him or charge him for the unborn child too. Yes, and if he was in the US, it would be a double case of attempted murder. They don't play around. He would have had attempted murder on the adult, the mom, and attempted murder on the unborn child. He would have had all kind of charges on him. Use of a deadly weapon, assault and battery with a deadly weapon, The list would have been long, and she would have had no say in what the court does next. And see then, Nadine, with Nadine's statement, I am going to change over to the Wessie and the Jamaica Michael Jackson little drama that's going on. So we take it out on a light note or a lighter note. But hear this out. Nadine just says he will definitely make sure he kills her the next time. And most likely the child he didn't want in the first place. That's deep. That's deep. You know, you just took that conversation to a whole different level just now, you know. Because now that I think about it, maybe she did a breed and him don't want it. And that's a part of. Maybe he knew from before. Because I mean, he went for the belly. Hey man. With that, we're gonna go over to another video. All right. So let's switch into a lighter mode. All right. So Cargo has a show coming up. Shout out to Cargo.
It's July 31st and then 6th anniversary. We're gonna give a nice outside event.
This is July the 31st.
Starring Cargo, Kenny Blessing, and the beautiful Natisha Stream. People, just take a look. Look how in a Jamaican taste restaurant clean. Tickets start at 35. You get 2 drinks plus a meal. What a deal! Plus you get a chance to a 65-inch TV. No worry, Jamaican taste restaurant have something for Korea. Come through and get them jerk shrimp pasta and them turkey wings. So July 31st, when Talayana play, I'll be a things. Me nah sell out my friend, nah but this my friend. Be a blessing, me son. Please try and protect that.
All right. So Cargo is apparently having a show. Let me just plug that in there. That's July 31st. And you can go look up the rest of the information. Follow his wife, which is ig.firstlady.sky. That's her IG. If y'all don't know it, see if you can see it. I'll post it in the comments so y'all can see it. Just throwing that in there as we are transitioning. Come off of that serious topic there and go for our next topic. A little bit out there, but also to see J. Cole and P. Diddy actually make up and put all the animosity behind them. You know, I love seeing brothers link up and win, right? So they linked up, they're winning. I don't have time to talk about it right now, but for if y'all didn't know, J. Cole sell all I'm car them and start ride bicycle. He actually, that's when he started growing his hair. And, you know, he was saying that he realized that all this vanity stuff don't really mean nothing. I think this dude sell platinum, 1 million records with no features on his record. And he's not on front stream, mainstream type, but he's doing it from. So anyways, he's well respected in the industry and he had run-ins with Puffy over the years. Animosity between their camps and all that. And it went viral for some time. They even had a fight, fist-to-fist fight before in the club. And here they are now. So I think Puffy flew out to meet him, squash the beef after all these years, which is a good look. Now, for our thing, oh, I thought this was funny. Seeing Andrew Holness at this funeral at a time when funeral is supposed to be limited to how many people. Somebody caught a picture of him sitting front row at a funeral. And probably, like I said, it's Photoshop. And the funeral had a whole lot of people in it that do as I say, not as I do here, man. Oh, I had to share this with y'all. When y'all used to respect yourself, a man grab her and a dance with her in a club, so you know. And a fair man, this, you know. Man just drop on her. She thought it was a joke until she realized that he wasn't letting her hair go. But there's more to the video from different angles. We just don't want to play the whole video on here, so YouTube will take down the video. They might do it just for that, or I might have to edit out that part. I'm going through IG. Shorty says she a virgin. Everybody says your man is cheating. I don't want bag of something there to talk about. But I want to deal with the Westy and Jamaica, Ghetto Michael Jackson is what he's called. So Ghetto Michael Jackson come out and said this.
People, the reason why I come back on my yard, West he'll cheat me. He not give me nothing. He say I look for my TR and my passport and my NIS. I know him not look about it, him hang me over there all long in a house, lock up. I make me wear all him daughter slippers too.
Jesus Christ.
And him now buy me nothing.
West West had to look about for one big man care, calling me faith for Michael Jackson, don't give me, you know. I mean, tell me, so I tell people, same thing, I don't tell people, I say, people, West West, don't give me, no. Look at me, look about like men can, look at me, we know, look about wicked West West, and now that than all you see, evil West West.
I have sure I'm going to call it the whole time, more than give me none.
Yes, wicked West West.
Watch your slippers and the pants.
Cheat me, him not give me nothing. Him say I look about my TR and my passport and my NIS. I know him not look about it, him hang me over there all long in a house, lock up. I make me wear all him daughter slippers too.
Jesus Christ.
And him not buy me nothing.
West West had to look about for one big man care.
What she has said?
For Michael Jackson, don't give me, you know. I mean, tell me, so I tell people, same thing, I don't tell people, I say, people, West West, don't give me, no. Look at me, look about like men can, look at me, we know, look about wicked West West, and now that than all you see, evil West West.
I have sure I'm going to call it the whole time, more than give me none.
Yes, wicked West West.
So, y'all don't know him? That's Ghetto Michael Jackson, okay? Me know the name sound because someone go like on a so high society and all this, and you're so out of touch and whatever. But anyway, Ghetto Michael Jackson, he even appeared on stage with Mr. Winford Williams. All right, so as a little youth, is a street youth who used to dress up as Michael Jackson and claim Michael Jackson is his favorite artist and he idolizes Michael. And dress up and imitate Michael Jackson in Jamaica, and I saw him used to make his little money. A manager by the name of Wessie Wessie actually pick him up and start doing things with him. Why for that? Pick him up and start doing things with him. But no pun intended. The manager actually started working with him and took him a few places. You know, shows gone. He ended up on stage with Mr. Winford Williams. He even released a song professionally. Even my kids be singing the song, but they laugh when they sing it, like it's more of a comedic kind of thing. Girl, them a faint, when them a go stop? Girl, them a faint, when them a go stop? I'm bad, you're nothing, I'm bad, none of them is nothing. And the chorus, me like, hee, hoo, hoo. I never hear it before. When I look for me like, I couldn't do what me I said. But anyway, apparently, we haven't seen him for a while, and apparently he's saying that the manager did have him locked up in a house over so, run a while path around so, and he's not giving him anything, and he's just using him. So him run away, and him gone a town. Well, Wessie Wessie himself has not only done an interview in, I believe it is the Star, to explain his side of the story, but he has also taken to social media with a video of his own, which I am going to play so you can hear Wessie Wessie's side of the story. See? So we're going to listen to Wessie Wessie's side of the story, I know. But the girl in her back though, and what she da say? Because me know if you chat about that what she did attack, me have to go relearn the thing. See? And on top of that, them pants that were him have on. Him said them, Wessie Wessie have him wear him daughter slippers. I think him have him wear him daughter pants too. It looked tragic. Now, y'all remember Candy? Candy, wow. Call the ambulance. Wow, wow, wow. And I see one to Candy, right? And when Candy was getting nyam out, no pun intended, not nyam out. But when Candy was getting, when they were using her, people were trying to speak about it. Like, yo, I use her, and all the money that come for her, all our show money, everything. They use it and don't give the girl nothing, blah, blah, blah. And look at Candy now, right? She went right back to square one. So at the same thing, people are trying to save this little young man from Wessie Wessie, but Wessie Wessie said there's nothing to fear. Me not do the youth nothing. And he's going to explain in this piece of video right here, if we can find him real quick. Wow, go on. See me? Yeah, everybody know me. Yeah, man. Let's watch it on IG.
Yeah, good morning, people. My day I want easy. Just wake up to some good news, see me?
Can you hear?
everybody know me, you know, everybody know West, you know, feed people and take care of people. So there's no way we can have somebody on my foot and he cheat them, make them out with them eyes, me. Man just want to go back to town and just schedule themselves and just gotta be a party. No, I wait till the place open back. He can go out with the rally. No, I wait upon that. He want to go town.
Hold on then. All right, here we go.
Yeah, good morning, people. Today I'm going to just wake up from some of the news, see me? Dear rumor. Everybody know me, you know, everybody know West, you know. Feed people and take care of people. So there's no way we can have somebody on my foot and he cheat them, make them out with them eyes, me. Man just want to go back to town and just schedule himself and just gotta be a party. No, I wait till the place open back.
The man says schedule out himself to blow and skirt.
So make him go on to town. You know the angle over that. See me? You know, woman, me like him in offer, in a love man. See me? Stop. Make people tell yourself and fool my pass. See me? Because everybody know me read for you, I mean ride for you, I mean interview for you, I mean everything for you. The same girl in the video in the back line of the video, me know who. Her name is Jackish. Every day she big. See? So you don't know. Them can't help you. Them can't do nothing for you. And me response to everybody and me boss everybody. Me response to everybody. The people that know who me is. And me have West Foundation we give up to people. So why me feel give to people and you down my foot and me not get them and take care of them? You see me? Yeah, when I slippers and take people some dark slippers that way. Stop embarrassing yourself here. Everybody know a lie I tell. This way I said now add up. You see me? Can't bring me the work hard for everything on me have. Everybody know that. So me work hard for everything on me have. So what you watch I do? No, I'm gonna work my brother. And you want to go back to town and me you run away. You down your foot, you get everything what you want. You want to go back to town, brother. So if you want to go back to town, you gonna me. I can't hold on by you, I'm be a money in a woman. I can't hold on by you for you to go back to town, go back to town. When me fall back at the house now, remember me not see you know, you have the owner room, you have everything for yourself in the youth. And you down back at town. And I make people force people to feed you for embarrass. You can't embarrass me, youth. I want to hear youth. You're not in a show, you're not in a video ads, you're not in the bookings, you're not going to wear the place locked down. And my money me use everything for you. When people, I say God, right now I'm not giving nobody else. Yo, I don't want nobody DM me now inbox me and say, oh, where's your me from him? I'm not bust nobody else. Some people me give visa, the highlight, and I'm still telling them back for me. I want to me show about that life, I never tell nobody thanks you know. And nobody can answer me about telling thanks. You see me? I never tell nobody thanks you. Me, now I stop the good. Remember that. Right now, I focus on my kids them.
That not.
And all I want to do is give my chance on him something. Chance upon balloon. I don't want to see him. You see me? I don't want to see him. Because if he can't put me down like this, what you feel like? I don't want to see him. And the one thing now, I focus on my kids them. I'm not nothing bad to say about it. You see me? How long this ever going for? 1 week and it blow off. And nobody don't want to see you back, brother. And me have all connection for most everybody with. I'm going to put it to the world. And you can't wait until the place open back. You run Ghana town. Stay down there and I'm saying them can't do. Me alright over there. I'm good. Respect my people. Ian. Hello. Yeah, man.
Boy, that sound like lovers quarrel. It sound like one time your woman pack up and left and you come home and she's not there. That sound like yeah. Why? That sound like lovers quarrel. No, but in all seriousness, yo, Wesley, me not this up your thing still. But when it sound like you know, I go through some domestic issues between yeah, that sound away. They have my foot on all these things and why? I don't know if you remember Casanova, you know, an artist named Casanova. So when I first started YouTube, Casanova, and yo, what did the producer name? I forget the producer's name. But Casanova came out and talked about how the producer did have him domestics. Yeah, domestic. The poly producer have him locked up in the house, and the man say, I use my toothbrush. I use my rag beard, the same rag with me I use beard. Yo, what on the inner? Something got caught. In all honesty, look at Michael Jackson there. Get on Michael Jackson. Him seem kind of like, you know, like me not say the man shaky. I'm just saying, he is very soft. Okay, He's very soft. And he's a youth that really don't talk, you know. Like this. I don't know if I the Michael Jackson persona in my try, because you know how Michael was in real life. Michael Jackson was soft spoken. You know, he spoke like that. Michael never really talked like that. He don't have a voice like a big voice like me now. So I wonder if the youth take on the Michael Jackson persona, and that's why I'm always act so. I saw him really act. Life rough out there enough for street picnic, and he's a street youth sleeping at the street. In Wesley's star interview, him say out the road him find him. I clean up garbage downtown and you know sell buckle and them thing there. So you know I'm taking him out of those situations. So this was going somewhere. This was going somewhere for him. That's why I was cheering for it. See, I was cheering for it. I'm even playing this song up here for me picking them. I'm picking them still sing the song and laugh because, you know. So I was cheering for him, but to see it come to this now, I don't know. Things look shaky. I read people's body language and I watch words. But the thing with us is we put too much on words sometimes. Because sometimes, right now I go to Jamaica and I say something. It's just like earlier when I was talking and I said, remember Candy? Remember Candy Wow? Candy Wow? Wow. Candy Shell, big show, you know. Spice had a huge show. And Spice called up Candy on the stage, and I would have think that Candy was going to be nervous or whatever. Candy Shell the show like she was a professional who has been doing this forever. You know when some people just make for something and no nervousness is there? That kind of thing. So I was really hopeful for Candy. Just like for Mackerel, how she get her visa and fly out left. All of the people who was talking about she not do nothing. All cockroach and all these things they used to call her. And next thing you know, Mackerel, boom, visa approved, blam, Canada she gone, boom, come back, England she gone, boom, come. So, you know what I'm saying? When you're doing your stuff, sometimes people laugh at it. People laugh at it. It's like a youth named Pooh Shiesty. Pooh Shiesty. Now, if my son came to me and told me, yo, daddy, I'm going to do music, right? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I think you got the talent and you got the vibe. What's going to be your stage name? And he goes, because you know, my youth, I tell him, says, a business this, see it? So you're going to have to learn the business side of this if this is what you really want to do. It's no different from another career choice. A lot of people go into entertainment thinking, me, I'm going to get the big boss because I'm so talented, and they neglect the business side of things and never even get a boss, or they get a boss and then get used out, right? So if my son come to me and say, Pooh Shiesty. Now, people, Pooh means shit, okay? And Shiesty mean a shady ass person. So if you're going to name yourself Shady Shit or Shit Shady kind of person, then I don't see how that's going to sell. Well, I have learned over time to shut my mouth and watch the new generation do their thing. That wouldn't fly before. It flies today. Pooh Shiesty is actually top of the charts right now, making millions of dollars off of streams alone and appearances. So who am I to go tell him that the Pooh Shiesty not gonna work? So when the youth say, get to Michael Jackson, and him come out and say, yeah, because him not pick up no gun, he wasn't robbing nobody, he's a street youth, he could definitely be doing all that. But watching his interviews and his demeanor, the youth look like, you know, like, him look like one that would clutch pearls and be like, oh my, in the event of something's figured out, you know, a youth, yeah boy, I mean, you'll probably be like, oh my, you know, that kind of personality him have. Now, me not say the youth have, me just say him see him. So he looks vulnerable. He looks vulnerable. And then the funny talk with them I talk, me not really understand. Sister, daughter slippers, the pants look like I'm daughter pants, to me don't know. And this kind of language where them have a go on. At the end of the day, I only hope that he is not getting used. He seems a bit slow. He seems a bit slow to me. Now, that's how he seems, and I'm just saying, right? Sandra Clark says, I don't like to hear when people say, me never tell nobody thanks yet. It just rubbed me a wrong way. Yeah, this the kind of shady language. Like Wesley said, Stuff like this. You see me? Me pick out what people say now. I'm not waiting for you to tell me. I swear I'm telling you the truth. No, I know if you're telling the truth. Read this. How him say me have him wear my daughter slippers when my daughter don't even live with me? My daughter, Nika, lives more time at her mom's, and everybody gets together on the weekend because her school is located where mommy is and all that, right? But our slippers, them, they're here. You know what I'm saying? Her slippers are here. So it doesn't, your child don't have to live with you to have garments at your house. So when some people are talking and talking fast, them actually a lie, and then they start telling the truth on themselves without even realizing it. Now, I'm not saying Westy is telling lies. I'm just saying something that seem right. So them needs to go fix up film talk too. And then that talk about me never tell nobody thanks yet. It kind of speaks more to your character as a person, bro. It's yeah, what Jaja said, West sound like him lost him little girlfriend. Brother, me never want this the man thing, but the thing sound like two lovers where, you know what, a man come home and wife just pack up her things and gone. And you go check the room, because that did our vex room, where when she don't want to talk to you, she go to that room, yeah? And you go check the room and you search the whole house and can't find her, you call her name. Babe, you're there. Why, little fight we have this morning, she pack up and gone, tired. And next thing you know, she's on social media and you're on social media from a different location. Now, keep in mind though, this could very well be all planned. You know? And by the time you look around again, because the place is opening up back now, Corona look like it did stifle Wesley and Ghetto Jackson. Because nothing never gone for them. Where say babe says him didn't address the fact that he bought new car. This is what he said in his Star interview. My wife has entered the chat, people. He didn't address the fact that he bought new car. In the Star interview, he did, and the Star printed out in writing, but he didn't address it on video. The man said that he bought a car, him work hard for him things, him buy a car, and Ghetto Jackson is saying it's his money him use buy a car. How could it be your money when you haven't done a show in a year? Okay. More shady language again, because the youth was making money before, right? Was he? If he hasn't done a show in a year, where I try to say the money from before done is done, probably done because you were maintaining him for a whole year, like place up a pay rent, him say him rent a house and put him in a one room in there while him take the rest of the house. And I saw it's just like the pimp and the prostitute that I just explained, right? I just like the pimp and the prostitute I just explained. It's like you probably don't know time I get pimp, or he hasn't reached that level yet. And a pimp got a prostitute feeling like the man that's about to buy some crutches from her, him is a trick, and she about to trick him out his money, and then she have to bring all that money come give him, the pimp. I see him thing I go on. It look like brains I say I feel money for true. It's just like candy wow. I feel like it's that you their money buy the car. I don't know. But Wesley saying put on the fee money from when? No, Wesley says he has other businesses. I don't know what other business made him enough money to go. No one going at people in business here, sir. No one see receipt. How that money was earned and all that. Because where's the money that the little youth made? Wesley can easily say, no show no go on for a whole year. Ask him how him eat. Ask him where him sleep. Ask him which part him cock up and watch TV. Under AC. And him eat good every day. So life requires maintenance. And the little money is not like he was making big checks before. The little money where him did I make from shows that run out. Of my personal money me use. I mean, Wesley have to pay himself for managing him. So you can't manage somebody for free. is not a charity case, it's a business, right? So you can't manage somebody for free. He must pay himself. So maybe Wesley spend out the youth money, get a Jackson money, pay all the bills, and then Fame share buy a car. Wait, instead of the other way around. Buy the youth a car, put him not look like him can drive no car though. Him not look like him can ride bicycle. That youth that is soft, okay? I'm not saying anything to put down being soft. I'm just saying he is obviously soft. So in a world of alpha males, he's soft. A food. Butter upon hot bread. Or butter upon hot knife. Either one and me. So I don't know. But the brother soft. The brother soft. He is unexpected. Unexpected. Another word that you want to use, Cindy. He is unexpected. He is a kid still. Yeah, mentally he's a kid, you could tell. I don't know what the story was again, but when Winfred Williams asked him about where's his parents and all that, we can't still like him. Actually, I saw him go. When Winfred asked him, said, Wesley have to jump in the interview and say, yeah, we're not to talk about that still. So I don't know if you know parents fling him out, or you don't know the different dynamic circumstances that might be traumatic for the youth to even explain. Say, I saw me end up on the street, or that kind of stuff. You know, ward of the state, mommy DashmiWeh, grocery store, never look back, or you don't know what the case is. But I noticed the body language, it was very obvious. Go watch that on-stage interview with him. Ghetto Jackson, or Jamaica Michael Jackson on Winfred Williams on stage. And you will see, watch the part where him asks about, where's your family? Where's your parents, your mom, your dad? And watch him, you know, and it's a street kid. It's a street kid. Literally sleep out a road. Where sleep? Them ask him. Oh, in our building, if the building empty and this, that. So it's a street picnic. So a street picnic, a man take you up and say, yo, I like your style and I like what you do. Yeah, we can make money off of this, you know. You can get rich and come out of the street with this talent. I have some links that can make something happen for you. And any little ghetto street youth would have been like, all right, come, let's go. Cause boy, I'm tired of that life here. You know? He's already not afraid to dance in public. So why not just dress him up properly, sharpen up the routine, make money, which is what they were doing until damn it, Corona. He could have been great right now. Corona stopped a lot of people bag, you know, over the last 2 years, a year and a half. The fame went to his head. Went to whose head? DJ Star Parts, or Star Pants. DJ Star Pants. At SouFLoTV at gmail.com. SouFLoTV at gmail.com. Link up. Type of unexperienced. Inexperienced. Yeah. He is. He's young. He's young, but him look like him not too right as neither. Like, you know, he's troubled. You can, if you look at him and watch his interviews, you can tell that he's a troubled youth. Him have things that go on in his life were rough. And how he's processing it is how he's processing it. The whole way have to ride with our demons and process our issues as we get through this thing called life. We just want to hope that Wesley really not abusing the youth, because there was a lot of potential there. And now I'm talk about how him cut him off completely, and me have all the links. So you know what that mean. That mean don't go nowhere, because any which part you go, and my people them there. Me have them links there. So me just gotta tell them, say, don't deal with you. Right? So I hope that's not the case. Because that's what happened to Candy Wow. And you see where Candy is. Candy went back to our wind up on strange man in the street and fight woman over them man and back on drugs and all these other things. I don't know. I can't tell you why. But anyhow, people, we're way past the top of the hour. It's Friday. Somebody said wondering how come child services haven't got involved. I don't think because he's probably over the legal, the age of consent. Remember when we talked about how the age of consent is very low? he's probably over the age of consent. So even though in our eyes, him still look like a picnic and he act like a child, like listen to him speak and everything, and this is not to put him down. He is just not that developed yet. He's still above the age of consent. So he's pretty much on his own. Him goes cook. Him fella them pick out. Whatever Wesley want to do him is at his mercy. But me I hope that Wesley is not abusing the youth and these things. More to come. We'll find out sooner or later if it was all a charade, if it was all to get views, to get people to remember them again, because we haven't seen him in almost a year. I mean, did I wonder, honestly wondering what happened to him the other day. That's why I was saying, want to mackerel, I want mackerel there. Want to get to Jackson. Which part him there? Because it looked like Corona broke enough people foot. See, so as I was wondering about him, this surfaced. So it looked like they were thinking the same thing, like, yo, the place opening up, it's time to get back out there. We can't go do a show down at Rick's Cafe, you know. You see, with Rick's Cafe have the thing locked. Them do big old mocha fest. And nothing come out of there. Rrr. Bad them bad. Like, like that. Government badness. We can't go do shows down that way and make some money. So come on, but we need controversy for people remember, say, a day here. All right. We have to create something. You run where God left me. You pack up it. you pack up your things. Run where God left me. You gone back at town. And you're saying all these bad things and management are going to break up and all these. Is he being abused? Is he being molested? That conversation, they look shaky, kind of words them using. Everybody is tuned in now. And next thing you know, next week, yeah man, we had our differences, but we squash it, you know, and we're getting back to business right now, and they're back on stage again with Mr. Winford Williams telling part 2. Mr. Winford Williams, please call them in and set this up and let us hear the all of what's going on. Even if you have to put them on 2 different parts of the stage and you sit down in the middle and what do you call it now? Not narrate. Damn, where my wife at? Be a boy there. Where word name? When people go counseling and you need somebody in the middle, a moderator. Woo, save myself. So Mr. Winford Williams, I mean I set the show up enough people. I want Mr. Winford Williams in the middle as a moderator, and I want Wesley over here, so I want Ghetto Jackson over here, so, and I want, all right, you talk, go. All right, hold on, stop right there, so. You answer that, go. Yeah, and like that. I'll make we get to the bottom of this. No pun intended. Make we get to the, you know, make sure we understand what go on with the situation. Yes, sir. No, babe, you come late. I see myself already. It's called moderator. You know, watch me, man. You know. But yeah, that's what I want to see. See? So big up to On Stage. Been watching On Stage for years. Shout out to Mr. Winford Williams, a consummate professional. One of the people that I model myself after somewhat, because I get a bit loose. I'm not on that. I don't have anybody to answer to kind of thing. So I do my thing within the confines of respect. So big up to them. But yeah, put them on the show quick. Let me hear what go on. And we can probably save the relationship if it's foolishness that go on and get the youth out of the streets. That should be the end goal. Whether it's drumming up publicity or that's why they did it or whatever, if they can craft it, because entertainment business, we watch whole heap of foolishness that is all scripted. Some I want to tune into love and hip hop all the time. I want to go thinking it's so real. I want to tune into Housewives of Atlanta and this and that and them kind of show them. I see them thing I go on. So I now box food out of nobody's mouth. If it work, make it work. I want to see that little youth that get some help and some care and get out of the street. I don't want to go to Jamaica. I'm going to see him out there a year from now on the road, still a pick up garbage and collect bottles for sale. Because he got a little leeway. He got a platform. I want to see it go further. All right. With that said, let's leave this right here this morning. Big up to everybody that tuned in. It's the freaking weekend, baby. It's hot outside in South Florida, and I am about to go enjoy myself today, whether at the park, at the beach, at the pool, something with the family. Surround yourself with people that love you and people that you love. Keep the vibes up, okay, and keep it positive and be safe. All right. Big up on yourself. Big up to Wesley. Big up to Ghetto Jackson. Big up to On Stage. Big up to Cargo. Cargo got his show coming up. Big up to each and every one of you out there. It's peace and love. SouFLoTV until I see you on the next video again. I'm out. Peace.